Mahabharatam prayers before we talk about Mahabharatam. Vyasam vasishtanaptaram shakte pautramakalmasham parasharatmajam vande chukatatantaponidhim vyasaya vishnurupaya vyasarupaya vishnave namo vai brahmanidhaye vasishtaya namo namah namostute vyasa vishala buddhe पुल्लारविन्दायत पत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भरततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ॐ नमः पितामहाय, ॐ नमः प्रजापतिभ्यः, ॐ नमः श्रीकृष्णद्वैपायनाय, ॐ नमः सर्वविघ्नविनाशकेभ्यः। We tried to discuss the prologue part of the Mahabharata in the Adi Parva. Actually, the Mahabharata begins from what we begin today. But what we did was the previous story before the story begins. How the Sarpayagam has to be performed, how Parikshit was cursed by Srungi, and how Takshaka had killed him, and how other people like Udanka and others were also affected by the serpents, and all of them go to Janamejaya, and Janamejaya himself was instigated by Udanka and others that your father Parikshit was killed by serpents, so you perform a Sarpayaga where all the serpents in the world without any exception will fall into the fire and get destroyed. Takshaka goes in fact to Indra's chair and it entwines himself around Indra's chair. So the Ritvik who was giving the homam, he says, Takshakaya Swaha, Takshaka does not come. Then he says, Sahendra Takshakaya Swaha. Indranoda Sendu Takshakan kuda vandu, he has to jump into the fire. And the time la vandu Astikan comes. Astika is a nephew of all the serpents. He comes there and he asks Janamejaya, he praises him. Janamejaya was very happy with the stotram that he does and the kind of, he talks about how great your ancestors have been and all that. Naturally he felt happy and asked him, what do you want? He said, stop the Sarpayaga. He stopped the Sarpayaga. And that is why the mantras that we have at the end of that Anukramanika, that Purvabhagam, is where you chant the mantra of this particular anecdote where Astika stops the Sarpayagam. So Palm mantra na the Pambu, somebody is bitten by a snake, this particular mantra will stop the poison. Now people asked me after my lecture last time, because so many curses, so many mantras, so many varams in this, is it possible that everybody has power to curse? Yes, even today we curse. What is that? And if it is positive, it is varam. If it is negative, it is curse. Sometimes a curse can also be a varam. For example, Arjuna went to Indraloka and Urashi fell in love with him and he refused. When a man refuses a woman, woman gets angry. And she told him, you become a eunuch for 1 year. That was very useful for him in the Ajñatavasa. So sometimes a curse can be useful. Sometimes a varam can be a headache also. So there are so many wonderful incidents in the Mahabharata, and we need to look at it from an oriental point of view. My request for all the audience is don't look at it from the Western point of view. Look at it from the Oriental point of view, because we are born and brought up here. We don't need to be imposed by Western thought and measure these things with the Western yardsticks. Polyandry, Draupadi can have 5 husbands. Why, how Kunti can bring anybody and get children? All these are questions that are asked by others, not people born in this country. You ask me, why should we not ask questions? We should ask questions. This tradition encourages us to ask questions. We went through all the Upanishads, they were all questions. Questions from a student can ask questions to Guru, a son can ask questions to the father, anybody can ask questions to anybody. Even a donkey asked a question to the king in one of the stories. See, this fellow is beating me, what are you doing as king? So anybody can ask questions, but after knowing what it is, read the book and then ask questions. Don't ask questions before reading the book. So my request is that we need to understand this from our point of view and don't try to stretch these things beyond the relevance. There are certain things which are absolutely relevant today. And there are certain things which may not be relevant today, but there was a tradition. There is in every culture all over the world, there has been polyandry and polygamy. We don't need to find fault with any of those things, particularly because every text has a context. And we have to go through context and then understand the text. So, we now go into the story of Mahabharata actually. After the Sarpayagam was stopped, Janamejaya stopped the Sarpayagam, Vyasa comes there. As soon as Vyasa comes, Janamejaya is overwhelmed because this person, Vyasa, is not only the author of Mahabharata, he is an eyewitness to Mahabharata. So he tells him, Kurunam Pandavanancha Bhavan Pratyaksha Darshavan. You are the Pratyaksha Darshavan. You are the one who has eyewitness to these things. Tesham Charitam Ichchami Kathyamanam Tvayadvija. I want to hear their story. You please tell me. First thing is, my question is, they are all wonderful people, each one of them, you take each one of them. Personally, everybody is good. Then why is that they fought for what? Kadam samabhavat vedah tesham aklishta karmana tacha yuddham kadam vrittam utantak karanam mahat. He asked him why they fought, for what? Then Vyasa tells, Tatya tadvachanam chritva Krishna dvaipayanah tatha shashacha sishyam asinam Vaishampayanamantike. Listening to his words, there is Vaishampayana sitting there. So Vyasa tells him, I told you the story of Mahabharata, will you please narrate it to him? This morning I have some health problems. One is I went to Manipur and brought some cold and cough with me. Another is I fell down at a particular place, particularly in Chari's house, and folded my foot. So I am limping, sometimes coughing, bear with me. Now Vaishampayana says, Churunu Rajan Yada Vedah Kuru Pandavayo Habhut. Why there was a conflict between Kurus and Pandavas? Rajardhe, Rajyardhe, for the kingdom. And what did they do to get the kingdom? Did they fight righteously? No. Yuta Sambhutaha. They fought not on the battlefield, but on the gambling. And Vanavasa Tathaivacha, there was a rule after, whoever wins will do this, whoever gets defeated will do that. So because of Idam Shata Sahastram hi Shlokanam Punya Karmanam. Shata is 100, Sahastram is 1000. Shata Sahastram, it contains 100,000 shlokas. Satyavachatmajena iha vyakhyatam amitate ejasa. Satyavati's son. Krishna Dvaipayana, because he lived in Krishna Dvipa. Vyasa, because Vivyasa Vedan Vyasa. Because he classified, he categorized, he segmented, he put them in order. He is called Vyasa. Satyavateya, because born to Satyavati. Parasharya, because born to Parashara. So that's the story. And this is called Mahabharata because Bharatanam Mahajjanma Mahabharata Muchyate, because it talks about the Mahat Janma, the great birth and the continuation of the clan This is called Mahabharata because it talks about the Bharata dynasty, people who belong to Bharata dynasty. Vyasa wrote this uninterruptedly for 3 years. And then, first he talks about the story of Uparichara Vasu. See, there are 3 beginnings of Mahabharata, as I was telling you last time. Because Mahabharata became Mahabharata because of 3 times, first time it was told by Vyasa to Vaishampayana and others. Then the second time Vaishampayana tells to Janamejaya. Then the Suta, who has gone to the Naimisharanya, he talks to the Shaunaka and other rishis and tells him, where are you coming from? I am coming from Janamejaya's Sarpayagam. What happened there? Vaishampayana was narrating Mahabharata. Will you tell us the story? He will tell the story. Then they will ask him at every stage, why it happened so, please give us more details about this. Then he will expand that and give more details. So Jaya has become Bharata, Bharata has become Mahabharata. Tato Jayamudiyarayat, Mahabharata, first name is Jaya. So he talks about Raja Uparicharo Nama Dharma Nicho Mahapatihi. There was a Maharaja by name Vasu, Manu by Uparichara Vasu. There are Ashta Vasus, out of them he is one of the Vasus. Then he talks about Uparichara Vasu. He has a girl whom he gave in adoption to a Dasharaja, a fisherman king. In every area there is a president. There is a Panchayat president, Madri, or fisherman king. And the fisherman king got a pair on the Dasharaja. So Uparichara Vasu has a daughter whom he gives in adoption to Dasharaja. Her name is Satyavati. Because she smells fish, she is called Matsya Gandhi. Matsya is fish, Gandha is smell. The Vasana. Then what happened is, what she does for everyday activity is she crosses people from one bank of the river of Yamuna to the other bank. Every day she does that. One day there is Parashara in the boat. Parashara asked her, I would like to have a son from you. He said yes. And then he blessed her with a varam called Yojana Gandhi. This Matsya Gandhi means smell of fish. Yojana Gandhi means, Yojana means 10 miles. Her smell, her odor, not the fish odor. Her odor is felt, experienced 10 miles at a distance. So that is the beauty that she has been given, not by just, she is not born in that fisherman's community, she is born to a Vasu. And so, because this boy that was born to Parashara is called Vyasa, he is called Dvaipayana because he was brought up in a Dvipa, and he tells as soon as he is born, he is a big man as soon as born. He does not go through all the childhood and Balyam and Yavanam and all these things. He is born scholar. He told the mother, whenever you think of me, mother, I will come back to you. So Vyasa disappears, Parashara also disappears. Now the story goes from there that Vyasa was worried. See, there are 4 yugams. The Treta, the Krita Yugam, Treta Yugam, Dwapara Yugam and Kali Yugam. The first concern for Vyasa was, every Yugam, Dharma is decreased or diminished by 25%. In Treta Yugam, Krita Yugam it was 100. In Treta Yugam it became 75%. In Dwapara Yugam it has become 50%. In Kali Yugam it is 25% in the beginning. As it goes by, the Kali Yuga Pradhama Pade, Jambudvipe we are now. And as we go into Ditiya Pade, 25% will become 10%, 5%, 0%. So he was worried that Dharma is getting reduced and he wanted to do whatever he can do to resurrect, redefine and give the Dharma to the human beings. So that's why he did the Vyasa Vedas classification. That's why it's called Veda Vyasa. Then we go to the Shakuntala story. Shakuntala story, Pauravanam Vamshakaro Dushyanto Nama Viryavan. There was a king called Dushyanta in Puruvamsha. And you all know the story of Vishwamitra and Menaka, and Shakuntala was born there. And because she was brought up by Shakams, that means birds, she was called Shakuntala. And it was adopted by Kanva, and Kanva brings her up. One day Dushyanta goes hunting and comes there, and he tells her, I want to get married to you by Gandharva Vivaha. There are 8 kinds of Vivaha. Gandharvam and Rakshasam are allowed for Kshatriyas. You know, Krishna marries Rukmini by Rakshasa Vivaha. That means forcibly taking away the girl. So these are all possible, those days relevant even today. So some of these things that when Krishna does it, why can't I do it? Don't think like that. Because you should be able to do what all Krishna also did. Before he did only Rakshasa Vivaha. So that is the problem there. So he marries and he tells her, Mama jayate ya putraha sabharate tvadanantaram. The putra that is born to me will be the king after me. And he goes. He tells her that tomorrow my ministers, my palanquins, my chariots, my elephants will come and receive you with all glory and make you my queen, coronet. And then the son born to you will be Bharata, whatever his name, will be my son, the king after me. He goes away. There are some incidents here which are very, sometimes very surprise to us. That Shakuntala was pregnant for 3 years and delivered the boy. 3 years. There is another place we will find that Gandhari delivered after 2 years. Things like that. So these are all things that are, depending on the temperature, depending on the tradition, depending on Desha Kala Paristhiti. These are all the things that we need to understand. So after 3 years of pregnancy, she gives birth to a boy. At the age of 6, he was able to tame elephants, lions, tigers, all wild animals. Because he was able to tame wild animals, he is called Sarva Damana. Sarva, all, Damana, tames. He can subdue anybody. And so Kanva one day tells her, this is a beautiful part of the story. Mahabharata Shakuntala is different from Kalidasa Shakuntala. Mahabharata Shakuntala, Durvasa one day comes and curses Shakuntala because she calls Shakuntala 2 times, 3 times, he does not speak. Because he was lost in thoughts of Dushyanta, this man who promised he will come tomorrow, never came after 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So Durvasa says, whomever you are thinking of, that fellow will forget you. So when she goes, she is not recognized by Dushyanta. Now Kanva tells her, see, there is one beautiful verse in Sanskrit. If all the literature, drama is the best. Because most of us, we have never read Ramayana, we have never read Mahabharata fully. But we all know the story, how? Because we have seen a drama, we have seen a television serial, or we have seen a dance performance, because of that. So whatever is Drishyamana, visual, audio-visual effect is more, that impact is more. So, Kavyeshu Natakam Ramyam, Natakeshu Shakuntala. Of all the literature, drama is the best form of literature. Of all drama, Shakuntala is the best. Of all Shakuntala, the 4th act is best. Of all the 4th act, the 4 shlokas are very good. Kavyeshu Natakam Ramyam, Natakeshu Shakuntala, Tatrapi Chaturtha Ankaha, Tatra Shloka Chatushthayaha. What a beautiful quotation. Then one need to go and see what are those 4 shlokas. Kanva tells Shakuntala. See, when your father and mother left you, I adopted you, brought you up. Now your husband is leaving you, I keep you for 10 years. Now the first thing is for a woman is to go to husband's house. So you must go to his house, but obviously because he did not send word for you for 10 years, he is not going to recognize you. So then what happens? He will insult you, humiliate you in front of all the men and women in the court. You should be able to tolerate that. So those are the 4 shlokas which tells Shakuntala how to behave when he refutes, recognize, he does not recognize. So Kavyeshu Natakam Ramyam Natakeshu Shakuntala Tatrapi Chaturtha Ankaha Tatra Shloka Chatushtaya. What a beautiful quotation. Now, if she goes, and Shakuntala, naturally that fellow says, I never seen you. Now this is your son, madam. I told you I have never seen you. Why are you saying this is your son? Then she talks some beautiful, these are the very good shlokas. That these stories are not stories as a matter of fact. Every story has an intricate nuance of understanding the components, different dimensions of dharma. And here Satyam is important. This word Ya is a very good word. Ya means that which is. Sat means eternal. Truth is eternal. Satyam means truth is eternal. So she tells him, don't worry, I am not worried that you don't recognize me. I am worried that as a king, you don't follow truth. See, because if you perform 1,000 Ashwamedha yagas, Valayanga Ashwamedhambulu Veyinu, Oka Satyam, one truth. You try to put them in balance. Satyamu Valanana Mulusupu Gauravambana Perman. The balance tilts towards truth, not towards 1,000 Ashwamedha yagams. 1,000 Ashwamedha, the phalam of 1,000 Ashwamedha yagams is not equal to speaking one truth. She tells him, beautiful shloka, she tells him, you think, every one of us, this is so relevant every day for everyone. Every one of us think when there's nobody around, you can do anything. Because nobody around. Now she says there are two people who are witnessing this. One is you yourself, your antahkarana. Another is the God self. So don't think that nobody is seeing. And so then she tells him finally, okay, you don't believe in this. Do one thing. I'll give this boy to you, hug him. When you hug any other boy and when you hug your own son, you find a difference. It will be like, applying sandal all over your body, sandal paste all over your body. And it is like, spending time in full moonlight. It is like showering pearls on you. Viparita pratibhashale metiki nirveenadha ఈ పుత్రగత్ర పరిశ్వంగ సుఖంబు శేఖనము ముక్తాహార కర్పూర సాంద్ర పరాగ ప్రసరము చందనము చంద్రజ్యోత్స్నయున్ పుత్రగాత్ర పరిశ్వంగమునట్లు జీవులకు హృద్యంబే కడుంచు శీతమే. పుత్రగాత్ర పరిశ్వంగ సుఖము, వాట్ ఎ బ్యూటిఫుల్ కాంపౌండ్. పుత్ర సన్, గాత్ర బాడీ, పరిశ్వంగ ఎంబ్రేస్, సుఖము ఇస్ కంఫర్ట్. ది కంఫర్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఎంబ్రేసింగ్ యువర్ సన్. He will, the first 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, some people until 6 years, 7 years will be wetting you all over. You will carry that boy and is so happy with that. You do that to this boy. And finally, when he does not listen, she says, what do you think of yourself? You are after all a human being. I am born to Apsarasa and Rajarshi, Vishwamitra. I can go anywhere in the universe with my powers. You are a ruler of mere earth. So please don't think that you are doing a favor to me by accepting me, or you are doing something great by rejecting me. Then comes the voices from the heaven. It is called Akashavani, not All India Radio. They tell him, no, this is your wife. Then he says, I am scared of people talking ill of me if I accept her as soon as she comes. That's why I did this, all this thing. Whatever he says. So that is how this country was ruled by him later. Their son is called Bharata, and that is why this country is called Bharata. And we are talking about his clan and his dynasty and people, kings in that dynasty. That's why it's called Mahabharata. This book is called Mahabharata. So Shakuntala like that. Then we go to the story of Yayati, Kacha and Devayati. Now, the children of Manu, we have 14 Manus. Chaturdasha Manu. And we are in the Vaivasvata Manvantar. Vaivasvata Manu is the Manu in which time period we are existing. And we are, Manu's children are called Manavas. And Vaivas of the Manu's children, Nahusha's son, Yayati. And keep it aside, and then come to the story of the war between the Rakshasas and the Devatas. Before the Amrita Madana. The Kshetrasagar Madana and Amrita was done much later. But from the time there was a war between Devatas and Rakshasas, Shukracharya is the guru of Rakshasas, Brahaspati is the guru of Devatas. Shukracharya has a vidya called Mrita Sanjeevani Vidya. Whoever dies, he can bring them back to life. So they go to war, all the Rakshasas die, and he will make them all alive. So Devata's number is reducing because there was no Amrita. And Rakshasas number is constant. So what they wanted to do was, they all went to, Devatas one day went to Brahaspati. Brahaspati has a son called Kacha. They said, Brahaspati, will you kindly send your son Kacha as a student to Shukracharya to learn this Amrita Sanjeevani? Look at this beauty. The beauty is, you can be a person from the opposite camp. There are so many incidents like this in Ramayana also. But if you go to a guru and ask him for vidya, the guru cannot refuse, should not refuse. Rama tells Lakshmana, before, Ravana almost died. He was about to die. Rama tells Lakshmana, go and learn from Ravana the Rajakiya Tantra. What is political science? Go and learn from him. He goes and Lakshmana, Ravana in his pain of death, about to die, he tells him all the secrets of the art of ruling and the administration and political science. Now the Kacha was requested, Kacha goes and Shukracharya knows why he comes. And Kacha goes, Namaskaram Shukracharya sir, I am son of Brahaspati. I came to, what Kacha says, Shukracharya says, I salute you. And my salutation to you is not because you are Kacha, it is a salutation to Brahaspati through you. What beauty of tradition. Kacha suswagatam te astu pratigrunnami te vachah archaishche aham archyam tvam arpito Brahaspatihi. If I worship you, if I welcome you, if I respect you, if I receive you, it all goes to Brahaspati. So please come. Kacha goes, Shukracharya, but all the Rakshasas were very jealous of this boy. Two reasons. Why? The first reason is, there is a daughter to Shukracharya called Devayani, very beautiful girl. She falls in love immediately with Kacha. That is one reason for their jealousy. The second reason is, they know that this fellow is from the opposite camp. The third reason, they know that this fellow has come to learn this art that is making them alive. And if they also learn this art, there is nothing. So they are all. So what a teacher does in those days. In these days, media will kill them. In those days, a teacher does not teach. You will learn by being with the teacher. There is no classroom hours. So Shukracharya tells Kacha, you go and graze my cattle every day. That is the job. That is education. This fellow goes. Every time he goes, the Rakshasas plan how to kill this fellow. One day they cut him into pieces and put it to all kinds of dogs. Evening, the cattle has returned. Kacha did not come. So Devayani goes to her father. Father Deva, Kacha did not come. So Shukracharya closes his eyes, he sees, okay, these people have killed this boy and cut it into pieces and gave it as food to dogs. So he recites Mrita Sanjeevani, Kacha comes back. Second time they wanted to do much better than this. Now if we do like this, Shukracharya is bringing him back to life. Let us cook him first. So they cook him and make a big lump of flesh and throw it in different oceans, not one place. Devayani goes, requests father. Shukracharya sees, makes him, bring him back to life. The third time they wanted to do a much better plan. They cremated him. They burnt him, cremated him, made him into ashes and mixed it into the liquor that Shukracharya takes every evening. Shukracharya takes a liquor. And these people have mixed this ashes into that. And this fellow drank. Devayani says, Padi mayu kamul galuguvad aparambudi grunke, Denabul editanakatama, Vacha Pudiga velvaga, Badia Podunuvoya, Kachundunaniun Radu, Vanambulo, and Murgaraksha Panaga Badanandeno. Murgamo, Rakshasamo, Panagamo, Purpambu, Rakshasa. ஒரு மிருகம் ஏதாவது என்ன பண்ணிருக்கலாம். வாடி மயூ கமுல் கலுகுவாட் அபராம்பதி கிருங்கே sunset already and Kacha has not come. Please take care, my dear father. He closes his eyes, he sees him in his stomach. Now what he should do, if he asks him to come alive, he will tear his stomach and come out, he will die. So first thing he does is teach Mrita Sanjeevani to that boy inside him. Teach Mrita Sanjeevani to that boy and then tells him, I will bring you back, please bring me back to life. If he does not do, it is the problem. And the problem and the kalathil illa. Because there are two things that are necessary for human beings who go for education or for any discourse for that matter. That is, one is Shraddha, another is Vishwasa. Tulsidas in Ramacharita before he begins, like Kalidasa says, Vagardha aviva samprukta Vagardha pratipatte. Parvati and Parameshwara is like word and meaning. Here Tulsidas says Parvati and Parameshwara is like Shraddha and Vishwasa. Concentration, faith in what you do. So Shukracharya told him. Shukracharya initiated him to Mrita Sanjeevani, he broke open the stomach and came out, brought Shukracharya back to life and said, Guru Dakshina, Namaskaram, can I go now? My job is done. I have come for this purpose. I have been grazing the cattle for so many years, So he told him, I take leave of you. He was about to go. Devayani runs behind him and says, I want to marry you. Kacha perhaps knows that she is in love. She never told him. But now he tells him, you are Guru's daughter. Guru's daughter means we are brother and sister. So please don't put such kind of proposals to me. Bhagini dharmataha me tvam. Dharmataha, by dharma. You are my sister. And then she curses naturally. Oh, Puguda curses Anna. You will scold, you will abuse. That is all curse. So he tells him, this vidya that you have learned from my father will not be useful. Varndade on the purpose. You know what Brihaspati is done? He is not an ordinary man. He tells her, no problem. This will be useful for my students. I will teach them, and that will be useful to them. Don't worry. Look at the beauty of that. And then he says, you will not get married to a Rishi Kumara. So he goes back. Now that the Mrita Sanjeevani has come, Devatas are all victorious, they are all happy. Now they can also come back to life. They say, now let us fight. Devatas are ready to fight. So the first part of that, they tell Indra, do something to create some conflict between them. There are 4 kinds of war: Sama, Dana, Bheda and Danda. You tell Sarsa Samadana, Bheda Danda Chatura. Sagarasham. முதல்ல சொல்லணும், இது எனக்கு கொடுத்துடப்பா, கொடுக்க மாட்டேன். நான் இது தரேன், நீ அது கொடுப்பியான்னு கேட்கணும். தானம் இது நீ கொடுக்கலன்னு வச்சுக்கோ, அவனுக்கிட்ட சொல்லணும், அது பேதம். அடிச்சு வாங்கிறது தண்டம். சாமதான பேத தண்டத்துல முதல்ல ஏதாவது பண்ணுங்கன்னு சொன்னாங்க. So then what Indra did, one day, see this Shukracharya is the guru of Rakshasas, and the king of Rakshasas was Vrishaparva. He has a beautiful daughter called Sharmishta. Sharmishta and Devayani, along with many girls, went to take bath in a pond, in a saras, in a tank. So the first mischief that Indra does is, by sending a Vayu, he makes the clothes scattered. They all went into the water and their clothes are on the bank. The clothes are shattered. Sharmishta comes out, by mistakes wears the clothes of Devayani. Devayani says, how dare you? Your father comes and stands with folded hands in front of my father, and you wear my clothes. So they fought with each other. When women fight, you don't know what are the limits. Then what Sharmishta did, she pushed her into the well and went away. She was in a, long, very old, not used pond. See, people are using that pond, somebody will come and find her. Nobody uses the pond anymore, she is thrown into that pond. So Devayani was thrown. Then, by that way, comes this king called Yayati. Yayati is from the Vaivasvata Manu's, Nahusha's son. He comes and he hears the voice of some women asking for help. He goes and gives her his right hand and brings her out. Devayani is such a very brilliant girl. She says, you have given your hand, it's called Panigrahana. You better marry me. Jaladi Viloalavi Valasat Kalakanch Samanchitavani Vahnastalambaina Dakshina Hastam. This Hastam, this right hand, is capable of ruling this kingdom with all the borders of 4 oceans. Jaladi Viloalavi Valasat Kalakanch Samanchitavani Vahnastalambaina Dakshina Hastam. So, she asked him for marriage. Shukracharya asked, Yayati accepts and tells. Before that, Devayani is very disturbed with Sharmishta for insulting her by pushing her into the pond. So she asked Shukracharya, let us get out of the service of this king, Rakshasa king, Vrishaparva. You don't need to be Acharya anymore. Unless they apologize, unless Sharmishta herself becomes a dasi to me along with 1,000 other maids along with her. So Sharmishta, the king's daughter, along with another 1,000 women, becomes dasi to Devayani. Shukracharya tells, he knows, Shukracharya is a very crooked guru. இப்போ ஜாதகங்களில் கூட சுக்கிரன் ஒரு ஸ்தானத்தில் இருந்தால் ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கும். அதே குரு இருந்தால் இன்னொரு விஷயமா நல்லா இருக்கும். குரு is in Lagna means will give you spiritual life. Shukra in Lagna means will give you material comforts. ரெண்டு பேருமே they are all the 9 planets, of course. But what happens here is, Shukra knows if the Sharmishta is there along with Devayani in the same house, one day Yayati may lose his heart to her. He tells him, don't go near Sharmishta. He warns. Warnings do not work. So he finds that Sharmishta has also children for Yayati. So Shukracharya curses him. Says, Purvam Vayah Parikyajya Jaram Sadyah Anvapachyata. He says, I am cursing you to become old suddenly. You will become old. Because after all, your arrogance of youth, you have done this. So I am making you old. He pleads with Shukracharya. Sir, I only had 2 wives. And I had only spent 15,000-20,000 years with them. No, those days, thousands of years is always a common thing. So I have not satiated my desires yet. How can you curse me like this? Can you do some kind of a relief for this curse? He says, yes. You can exchange your old age with the youth of any of your sons if they come forward. He has a lot of sons for Devayani, a lot of sons for Sharmishta. So he asked them, there is one son, Puru. He says, Father, you have given us this birth. This body is yours. So I have no problem. Take my youth, give your old age. So for thousands of years, Yayati takes the youth of Puru and enjoys, and then finally tells him, this sensuous desire, the sense desires are so very bad. No, after so many thousands of years he realizes, not 1 day, 2 days. He says it is like, if you want to quench if you want to put off the fire, you cannot put off by putting ghee into that. Sense desires are like that. By satisfying them, wants recur. They come back. You're hungry, then somebody gives you wonderful food. Your hunger is satiated for that time. Another 2 hours, 3 hours, you are ready. So he tells him that yo asa pranantiko roga tam trishnam chajitas sukham. The most pranantikamana or rogam is desire. Any rogam is curable, desire is not curable. That's what Shankaracharya says. Sangam galitam palitam tundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam vruddho yati grihitva dandam tadapi namunchati ashapindam dinayaminyau sayam pratah hishara vasantau punarayatah kala kridati gacchati ayuhu tadapi namunchati ashavayu. In the asha, in the desire under our idirke, that will not go. Time may go, years may go, teeth may fall, ears may not work, eyes cannot see, you cannot smell anything, you don't know whether seeing man or woman, or you don't even see what is in front of you, but the desire will continue. So, he says, I am fed up with this kind of rogam called the desire. So I am giving away my kingdom to you, so Puru rules the country. And the Puru dynasty, it's a very beautiful description there. The description goes like, whose son, whose son, whose son. Dakshascha Aditihi. Daksha's son is Aditi. Aditehe vivasvan vivasvato manor ilaya pururavaha ayuhu ayusho navshaha navshascha yayatihi puroh pauravaha. Gives the list of whose son is, whose son is, whose son is son. And now that we have, family trees and all that. This is the tree there. Now one day, Brahma was in court. Now we always hear about Shiva's court and Vishnu's court and Indra Sabha and things like that. Brahma was in court. And there comes a king called Mahabhisha. And Ganga enters the Brahma's court. What happened was, there was some kind of a wind and the clothes of Ganga were scattered while she was still wearing them. And everybody closed their eyes except Mahabhisha and Ganga. Brahma curses both of them. Mahabhisha, you will be born in the human world. And Ganga, you will also be born in the human world. So Ganga goes to the human world, and then there is the Ashtavasus, the 8 Vasus come and pray to her. We have been here on a curse. We are also here on a curse. Can you help us? What should I do? You get married to Shantanu, Puru's son. Shantanu. Shantanu or Shantanu. And 8 of them will be born to you. All the 8 of us. You throw each one of us immediately after the birth, 7 of us into the waters. And the 8th one, we will give all our powers to that boy. He will rule for a while, he will be there for a while, he will be the strongest man, most intellectual, most righteous man. We will give all powers to him, you do this favor to us so that we get liberated from our curses, 7 of us at least. Ganga accepts. Shantanu asks her to get married. He goes to the Yamuna river one day, the river bed, and then he finds this beautiful woman, he asks for marriage. She says, I will accept, one condition. The condition is, Varita vipriyam chokta chajayam tvam asamshayah. You ask me one question, I will drop you then and there. Don't ask me any questions. Whatever I do, you should never ask me a question, never stop me from whatever I am doing. If was so overwhelmed by the beauty of this lady, he said, by all means, I will never ask you a question. So she gives birth to 7 sons, each one she puts in the water. The 8th one, Shantanu says, we have already done 7. Can you stop doing this? He says, I am dropping you now. But I'll give you this son and go. So she gives that son and goes away. And the son's name is Devavrata. Bhishma's original name, Devavrata. There are so many beautiful names that we come across in Mahabharata. We don't know what is Kunti's name, what is Karna's name, what is Draupadi's name. We will get the original names in Mahabharata. These are not the original names. So Devavrata and when Devavrata was born, Shantanu was there. But Shantanu, Devavrata has expanded his kingdom, did a lot of wonderful jobs. Shantanu was very happy with him. One day he was very unhappy. He was thinking that he should get married again. Why? He tells us, Anapachyataha eva ekaputratvam ichyaha dharmavadinaha. Dharma Shastram says, having one son is equal to having none. Because a king like you, who will go to wars every day, suppose you die, this dynasty will go completely conclude with you. So he goes one day and finds Satyavati on the banks of river Yamuna. He asks her for marriage. She says, I have no problem. I have 2 conditions. No, not even 2 conditions, 1 condition. The 1 condition is, my son, the son born to you and me, should be the king. Shantanu does not accept. Goes away. Then Bhishma finds, Devavrata finds every day that father is getting depressed day by day. He asks him what is the reason. He never tells him. He finds out from the ministers and goes to Dasharaja himself. He goes to Dasharaja himself and tells him, I am assuring you, I will not stake a claim to the kingdom. Dasharaja says, you are right, you will not. But what about the children born to you? So I also assure you I will not get married. He says, Rajyam tavat purvameva maya chaktam naradhipa ajya pravriti me jata brahmacharyam bhavishyati. From today I will be brahmachari. He does not even say I will not get married. Because even without getting married he may have children. So I will have brahmacharyam throughout my life. And because of this pratigna, Devas were very happy with him. They showered flowers on him. Devaha abhyamarshantah kusumaihi. Kusumaihi abhyamarshantah. They have rained flowers on him and called him Bhishma from them. Then to Satyavati and Shantanu, 2 sons were born. One is Chitrangada, another is Vichitravirya. Chitrangada first started ruling the kingdom and he was killed in a war by a Gandharva whose name also was Chitrangada. So Chitrangada died in a war with a Gandharva called Chitrangada, and Vichitravirya was a small boy at the time. Bhishma was ruling on behalf of him as a representative. When he comes of age to marriage, then he goes to Kashi Raja, who has announced a Swayamvara. Kashi Raja had 3 daughters, Amba, Ambika, Ambalika. So he went on behalf of, what is Bhishma? Look at the fate of Bhishma. He does not get married. He does not rule. But he has to do all this work for them. So he goes to Swayamvaram of Kashi Raja, defeats all the kings, and brings Amba, Ambika, Ambalika. Amba tells him, you have forcibly brought me. I am in love with a king called Salva, who is the king of Sabharadesha. So he said, sorry, I didn't know this, but I am sending you back. So she goes back. Ambika and Ambalika were left and they were married to Vichitravirya. 7 years Vichitravirya rules without children and dies of what is called Kshaya Rogam, tuberculosis. So there are so many relevant things even then and now. Then Satyavati thinks how to continue this dynasty. This rule of a brother can produce children to the wife of a dead brother. is adopted here. So she calls Vyasa and asks him to produce children through the wives of Vichitravirya, Ambika and Ambalika. Vyasa tells them, he accepts the Matru Agnya, mother's order, and says, Amba and Ambika, Ambalika, you should do 1 year of Vratam austerity, then I'll come. After 1 year, he comes with a very fierce, dirty body. So he goes to Ambika first, and Ambika closes her eyes. So born Dhritarashtra blind. When she closes her eyes, the son born to her is blind. And he tells her, this fellow will have 100 sons and the strength of 10,000 elephants. This boy is called Dhritarashtra. Then after some time he goes to Ambalika. Ambalika was scared of this man, so she turns pale in color. So the son born to her is pale in color, which means Pandu in Sanskrit. So that fellow is called Panduraja. Satyavati tells these two are very bad, one is pale, another is blind. Why don't you go to another time to Ambika? He accepts. Ambika this time doesn't want to go to him, she sends her maid. And the maid gets the son called Vidura, who is intellectual, righteous, and also Dharma Avatara. So that is how the three were born. Then the Dhritarashtra Vivaha. King of Gandhara, Subala. He has a daughter called Gandhari. Bhishma goes with the proposal. First Subala hesitates, but then thinks that it is a marriage with Kauravas, such a big dynasty. So the minute that this marriage is fixed, Gandhari ties a band around her eyes, saying that what my husband cannot see, I have no right to see. And because of her austerity, she also says, Vrutten arachya tan sarvan gurun patiparayana vachapi purushan anyan subrata nanvakirtayet. Even for the sake of a conversation, she does not take the name of another man. That kind of a pativrata Gandhari. And then comes the story of Kunti. Kunti, there was Krishna's father is Vasudeva. Vasudeva's father is Shurasena. Shurasena has a daughter called Prutha, Kunti's original name. Prutha is given in adoption to Kunti Bhoja, his friend. And because she was given in adoption to Kunti Bhoja, her name became Kunti, otherwise her name is Prutha. So, one day Durvasa comes to the Kunti Bhoja's kingdom, and happy with the services rendered by Kunti, he gives a very unusual varam to her, because this is how the story has to go. Because the story has to go that way, everybody there is an instrument in placing these particular varams or curses. So he gives a varam that whomever you call will come and bless you with a son. She wanted to experiment, she is not married. She wanted to experiment, calls Surya. Tadha utva tutam kuntim avivesha vihangamaha Swarбhanu shatruhu yogatma nabhyam pasparsha chaivatam. Some peculiar things will be there. Surya came, he touched her on the navel, and she immediately produced a son. And the son has Kavacham and Kundalam. And because he is born with Kavacham and Kundalam, she is scared. Immediately, Sajjo Garbham. Sajjo, immediate prasavam. Sajjo prasavam, Sajjo Garbham. Instant. And so she takes him and leaves in the water. There is a Satpurusha called Atiratha who takes care of this boy, and his wife Radha take care of the boy. And the boy, because he is born with Vasu, means gold on his body, is called Vasushena. He is the name of Karna. Vasushena is the original name of Karna, and he is a brilliant intellectual in archery and weaponry, everything that he knows. But what he does every day is, because he is son of Surya, he has done Suryopasana every day. until his back gets scorched with the heat of the sun. And at that time, anybody comes and asks him, we want this, he will without hesitation gives anything that you want. One day Indra comes and asks him, I want your kavacham and kundam. Not immediately now, but later on, kavacham and kundam. So he gives away the kavacham and kundalam because he pierces his karnam. He tears away the kundalams from his karna, means here, he is called karna, because it takes away, tearing away the body is called vivartana. So it's called vivartana, vikartana and karna are the two names. And then comes the marriage of Pandu. Dhritarashtra is married to Gandhari, Pandu is married to Kunti and Madri. Kunti is married and Gandhari, first Kunti was married, then Bhishma goes to Madra Desha and asks Shalya, the king of Madra, to give his sister in marriage. Madra's sister is Madri. He says, in our tradition, you have to give us a lot of money to get married. You have to give us money. It's not dowry, it is Kanya Shulka. So he says there is no problem in that because every tradition has some rules. And there is nothing wrong in following the rules that you have in your tradition. Natra kachana doshosti purvair vidhi ayam kritaha viditeyam jate shalya maryadha sadhu sammata. It is maryada to follow the tradition of others when you go to other places. So he tells him that, and Pandu marries Kunti and Madri. He expands his kingdom. And whenever he comes back with a lot of riches from other sources. Dhritarashtra spends that money in performing sacrifices, yajnams and yagams. One day he is also very fond of hunting. One day he goes for hunting. And there was a rishi called Kindama. These rishis have some, they are extroverts. They do something for their joy because they are capable of that. This Kindama and his wife, they wanted to enjoy life in the form of deer. So both of them become deer. Deer, D-E-E-R, not deer. And then while they were romance in that form, Pandu thinks it is just an animal and shoots her. Kindama immediately says, you have spoiled our romance, you have killed us, unwarranted. So, whenever you want to unite with a woman, you will die. So that is the curse. And Pandu knows this. So he tells Kunti that you have a varam, why don't you use it and produce children? So she asked him, you tell the names, I will call them and we'll have children. So they call, and Dharma Devata is called first, Dharmaraja is born. Vayu is called, Bhima comes. At the same time, on the same day as Duryodhana is born. We'll come to Gandhari's Garbham also, Indra, Arjuna. Then Pandu says, can you also help Madri produce some children? He says, Madri, you can invite somebody and we will request him. So instead of calling one person, she calls Ashwini Devati, two at a time, and that is why Nakula and Sahadeva are born. Meanwhile, Gandhari, one day Vyasa comes with a lot of hunger. Gandhari feeds him very well. And Gandhari, happy with that, Vyasa tells her that you will give birth to 100 sons. And she carries she was pregnant for 2 years. And then she comes to know that Dharmaraja was born there. She feels jealous. If an elder brother's son is there already, then he will become right man for becoming the king. So she tries to force delivery. And because of forced delivery, a lump of flesh is born, which Vyasa comes and divides it into 100 pieces, 101 pieces, and puts them in pots. And after some time, and sprinkles mantra jalam on it, after some time, Duryodhana is born. And when Duryodhana is born, there were all bad omens. The dogs were crying, barking, the donkeys were making howling, foxes howling, and there were, all kinds of, meteors and everything is falling from the sky. So these things are apashakunam sancholite. Vidura and all the astrologers tell Dhritarashtra, this fellow will be the cause of destruction of the dynasty. Please throw him and kill him. Dhritarashtra says no. And there comes Viduraniti first. Vidura says, Chajedekam kulasyarthe. If you have to protect your kulam, you can drop one person. If you have to protect a gramam, you can drop the kulam. If you have to protect a particular area, the region, then you can drop a gramam. And you can drop yourself if that helps the society. So, Chadedekam kulasyardhe gramasyardhe kulam chajet, gramam janapadasyardhe atmardhe prithvim chajet. That happens. And then, meanwhile, Pandu dies. Pandu, the minute he has been cursed by the saint Kindama, he never went back to Hastinapur. He says, from here now, I am dropping everything. I am doing Vanaprasthashram, I am taking sannyasa. And he doesn't go back, and all the children are born in the forest itself to whoever Kunti invited. Now Pandu dies. This is first mention of a Sagamanam in the entire Indian literature, not in Vedas. The Sagamanam first, now Kunti says, I will do Sahagamanam, die along with Pandu. Madri says, no, you are needed for the children, so I will do Sahagamanam. Madri does Sahagamanam with Panduraja, and Kunti and children are brought by Munis in their forest and brought to Dhritarashtra, Bhishma and Satyavati, and they are given to them and say, these are the people who will create history, who will create lot of refinement and dharma to the society, so please accept them, and they will disappear. After they disappeared, Pandu death was condoled, and everybody, the Shraddham and Parana, everything was done, and then Vyasa then tells Satyavati, it is time for you to go. Satyavati is mother, Vyasa is the son. He tells, day by day, tomorrow is worse than today. Day after tomorrow will be worse than tomorrow. This is the time when the dharma is getting diminished. Atikranta sukha kalaha paryupastita daruna shvashvaha papiya divasaha. Shva means tomorrow. Shvaha means tomorrow in Sanskrit. Shvaha, shvaha, tomorrow and tomorrow. Papiya divasaha. Sinful days are coming. So it is time for you to go to Vanaprastham, and Satyavati goes to Vanaprastham, and with tapas she leaves her mortal coil. Then we get to the childhood of Kauravas and Pandavas. Bhima, for no reason, tries to always irritate Kauravas. And Vyasa says it is not out of any bad intention, it is out of childishness. Now, Duryodhana was irritated by Bhima, so he thinks, first thing I should do is kill Bhima. Then I can even control Dharmaja and Arjuna by imprisoning them. It's not a big deal. So he was thinking like that. One day what he does is poison Bhima, tie him, his hands and feet, and throws him into water. That fellow directly goes into Nagaloka. And with his huge body, so many serpents have died under him when he fell down. So the serpents were angry, they all bit him. When one poison is bit by another poison, it is nullified. So he comes back to life. And the Nagas were so happy with him, and they found that he is Vayu's son. So they give him all kinds of powers and tells him, from now you will not be bitten by any snake, anything, any poison cannot do anything to you. Then he comes back. Before that, Kunti was worried. These 4 children are there, the 5th son is not available. And Vidura tells her, don't say it out. Because if you tell this out, Duryodhana can create harm to the rest of the 4 also. Wait as if nothing happened. Wait as if Bhima is around. And then when Bhima comes and tells all the story, Dharmaraja tells him, don't tell anybody about this. Tushnim bhava nate jalpamidam karyam kadhanchana. Don't tell this to anybody, because if, he shouldn't know that we have more power. From then on, many times Duryodhana tries to poison him, nothing happens to him every time. Then we come to the story of Kripacharya, Dronacharya and Ashwatthama. There was a Muni called Gautama. He has twins. Krupa, male child, Krupi, female child. Krupa becomes an intellectual scholar in Astra and Shastra Vidya and becomes Krupacharya. Krupi is married to Dronacharya. Drona is born to Bharadwaja and born in a pot. That's why it's called Kumbha Sambhava. Born in a pot. Dronacharya. Drona learns Astra Vidya from Parashurama. Parashurama has given away everything and he was in forest. One day Dronacharya goes to him and asks him, I want something from you. Dronacharya tells him, my money is given away. There are only two things I have. My body is there, my Astra Vidya is there. What do you want? Astrani cha maharhani shastrani vividhani cha astrani va shariram va varaya yatatmayo jatam. You ask for Astra or Shastra. There is a difference between Astra and Shastra. That's very important to understand. Shastra means a physical arrow. Anything physical weapon, a khadgam or a gada or any weapon, physical weapon is Shastra. Astra means a mantra weapon. You know, for example, Ashwatthama takes a blade of grass and then put it as Brahmastram on the Upapandus. This blade of grass ஒரு மந்திரத்தோட பண்ணணும் அது. The மந்திரம் உபயோகம் பண்றாலே அந்த Shastra, whatever, you can take a piece of paper or a blade of grass, that becomes a weapon. So Astra means that which is mantra along with that. Shastra means it's a physical. So Parashurama tells him, I have all kinds of astras and astrani cha maharhani. Very great astras are with. And shastrani also there. So Dronacharya learns all of them. Then look at this beauty. I will close it with another 5-10 minutes because we need to finish a particular segment of Adi Parva, otherwise we cannot do Mahabharata. Drupada, a king, was a classmate of Dronacharya. He tells him, he's so close to him in Dronacharya because he was learning everything, he was also enjoying. You know, there is a very good, brilliant student, you want to be a friend with. He became friend, he said, my kingdom is your kingdom, and all those words he said casually. So after this education was over, one day Dronacharya goes to him and then tells him, you are my friend. Drupada says, what friend? Who is your friend? ஒரு தரித்திரனுக்கு வந்து பணக்காரன் ஃப்ரெண்டாக முடியாது. ஒரு புத்தி இல்லாதவனுக்கு வந்து ஒரு இன்டலெக்சுவல் ஃப்ரெண்டாக முடியாது. ஒரு யோயோரேவ சமம் வித்தம் யோயோரேவ சமம் ஸ்ருதः தயோர் விவாஹः சఖ్யஞ்ச நது புஷ்ட விபுஷ்டயः. There should be equality either in marriage or in friendship. See, I am a king, you are a poor Brahmin who have to search for another second meal from somewhere. So please, I might have said something, get lost. So he went away. But he has the mind that one day he should teach him a lesson. Please see this beauty. He does not want to teach him a lesson, he wants to teach him values. Drona thinks, I should teach him values, not revenge. So he goes. Then one day the Kauravas were playing and they play a big ball game and the ball fell into a pond. Dronacharya was passing by. These people were shouting for the ball. He puts a blade of grass. Behind that another blade, behind that another blade, behind that another blade, and this becomes like a chain and the ball is taken out. So Kauravas were so very amazed at the scholarship, the intellect of this guru. They go and tell Bhishma. Bhishma brings him. Dishtya praptosi viprashe mahan me anugraha krutah. He was suffering without another meal. He had children. He had son Ashwatthama with him. Bhishma gives him all facilities and makes him the guru and says it is our honor that you have been available to us as guru. Then the first thing that the Guru tells them, Dronacharya calls all the Kauravas and Pandavas, I will ask you for a Guru Dakshina of an unusual thing. Who will do? Nobody says yes. Arjuna says, I will do. From that day, Tachrutva Kauraveyaha te tushnim asan vishampate Arjunastu tatas sarvam pratijajne parantapa. Arjuna immediately asks, whatever you want to ask, without even knowing, Guru Dakshina he wanted to offer, From then on, Drona teaches Pandus specially the Astra and Shastra Vidya. And then what happens one day, the Ekalavya story all of you know. Ekalavya comes to learn from Drona. Drona refuses because you don't belong to a caste that I can teach. See, all people are not allowed into the school, that admission formalities that we have even today. So Ekalavya is not admitted. So he goes, he makes a picture of Drona in clay, puts it in front of him and learns. One day Kauravas and Pandavas went for hunting, they take a dog along with them. The dog strayed and went to Ekalavya's place and barking at Ekalavya when he was practicing. Ekalavya did not kill the dog. What he did is he put 7 arrows at one time, but all the 7 arrows have made the mouth jammed. She cannot bark anymore. Without hurting the dog, without killing the dog, he jammed her mouth that she could not bark. So the dog came back. So Pandavas were, the people wanted to know who did this. This is a very brilliant kind of archer. So they went and said they found Ekalavya. They asked him, who is your guru? He said, Drona. Arjuna was immediately jealous. Because Dronacharya promised, I will make you the best archer in the world. What did you say, Guruji? See, I went and found one fellow who did this. The next morning, Dronacharya and Arjuna go to Ekalavya. Dronacharya asked, what kind of Guru Dakshina will you give? Whatever you want. Give your right thumb. After that, you cannot do anything, no? He gives you right thumb. And Pachami Ekam Tataha Arjuna Pritamanaha. Arjuna has become very happy. And then there was a test for all of them who can concentrate more, and all that is over. Then Guru Dakshina. Now this there is an exhibition of Bala Pradarshana, and all of them did extremely well. And Dronacharya tells everybody in the audience, you know, Duryodhana and Bhima had a very fearful battle of Gada Yuddha. Drona sends Ashwadhama to stop it because they are going to be out of control. Then he presents Arjuna and tells this fellow is dearer to me than my son. Ye me putrat priyataraha sarvashastra visharadaha. He knows everything. And he will now exhibit his strength. He was almost about to conclude, Karna enters and says, what is this? He says, nothing, I can show better things. And then he shows better things. Then he says, Duryodhana was very happy that there is somebody who can do better than Arjuna. And he goes, hugs him, and Kunti recognizes that this boy is my son. Then Karna does not stop there. He says, I want a Dvandva Yuddham with Arjuna. I want a personal physical fight with Arjuna. Krupacharya asked him, what caste, what community? Introduce yourself, your father, your mother's name. He was ashamed, he did not say. Then Duryodhana says, very beautiful shloka. He says, what is equality? What is equality? The rule is, when you are a very valiant person, when you are born in a higher caste, or you are the chief of army, you can become a king. Now this man is a valiant man. I here now make him the king of Angaraj. Now let Arjuna, because he is a Raja and he is a Raja, let them fight. Fortunately, then comes the sunset. The sunset sets the scene, they go back. Now the Guru Dakshina, all the Pandavas and Kauravas go to fight war with Drupada. Kauravas are defeated. Arjuna ties him. No, Dronacharya tells him, don't hurt him. Bandi banake lekar. Just make him, tie him, and then bring him to me. He comes. Now, look at Dronacharya. He says, Drupada Namaskaram, we are friends. You remember you said once that only equals can be friends. Now I have kingdom, you don't have kingdom. So what I will do now is, I will give half of my kingdom to you. So Dronacharya, who won the entire kingdom, gives half of his kingdom to Drupada and says, now we are equals, can we now be friends? अनाश्चर्यमिदं ब्रह्मन् वित्तान्तेषु महात्मनः प्रिये त्वयाहं त्वत्तच्च प्रीतिमिच्छामि शाश्वतीं. He says, Ma bhaihi, don't be scared. And then Drupada says, it is not Ascharya for me, from a man like you, that you will behave like this. I know that you will behave like this. I am ashamed of my behavior and extend a hand of friendship. There ends that particular story. We will stop here, and we are almost at the 130 sarga of the first chapter. First chapter is called Adi Parva. In Adi Parva there are 227 chapters. Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana va prakriti svabhavat karomi yajyat sakalam parasmai narayanaye samarpayami. यदक्षर पद भ्रष्टम मात्राहीनंतु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव. नारायण नमस्ते. मंगलम कौसलेन्द्राय महनीय गुणात्मने चक्रवर्ती तनूजाय सर्वभौमाय मंगलम. श्रियकान्ताय कल्याणनिधये निधेऽर्थिन श्रीवेङ्कटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मंगलम. मंगलाशासनपदैः मदाचार्य पुरोगमैः सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्यैः सत्कृतायास्तु मंगलम. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः स्वस्ति नित्यं. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी. देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः. अपुत्रपुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः धनाः सदनाः सन्तु. जीवन्तु शरदां शतम्. ओम शांति शांति शांति. Namaskaram. Thank you very much.